before we begin our service. A warm welcome to everyone this morning, to those of you here in person and those watching on YouTube. At the Gloucester Unitarian Universalist Church, we create a home for people of many religious beliefs, or none. People of different skin colors, different ages, different incomes, and different abilities. If you're full of joy, please come in. If your spirit is heavy, please come in. Our Unitarian Universalist Church teaches us to keep love, never hate or fear, at the center of our beliefs and of our work in the world. As a welcoming congregation, we affirm the full inclusion of people of all sexual orientations and gender identities. A very special welcome to any visitors with us this morning. If you'd like to get connected and learn more about our community life, please take a moment to fill out a yellow pew card located on the back of the seat in front of you, or sign the guest book in the vestibule. We hope you will join us for refreshments downstairs in our fellowship hall following the service, so we have a chance to connect in person. Childcare for elementary-aged children is available today. We are serving lunch today after the service. Our chef Heidi has prepared a meal for us. Guests are most welcome. To join us, please leave the sanctuary by the door behind me and head down the stairs and across the hall to the social hall. We'll be glad to get to know you better. Reverend Janet has started a new spiritual practice known as a chalice circle. Perhaps some of you remember this from previous years. The group met for the first time last month, and our next meeting is next Sunday after coffee, November 17th. This group explores the practice of deep listening, and we follow the monthly Soul Matters theme, which in November is repair. The group is currently open to anyone who wants to try it out during an open enrollment period. We hope you'll consider exploring this with us. Our annual socks and underwear drive ended at the end of last month, though we still have a few tasks to complete. Today, sort of on a spur of the moment, after lunch, if anyone is willing to stay, we'll do a first sorting of the donations we received so that we can figure out which should go to the Great Plays of the Grace Center, which to Pathways, and which to Unity. So see me at lunch if you can help. If we can't get it done today, we will do it on an upcoming Sunday. Our new social gathering. Oh, by the way, thanks to you all, we've raised more than $600 in cash to help with that collection, and a good bit of that has already been used to purchase socks and underwear. Our new social gathering, we're calling it Mug Up, is underway. Everyone is invited to come on Friday mornings at 10 to chat, work on knitting or crocheting, drink hot beverages, or share stories from the newspaper. Come drop in and visit between 10 and noon downstairs in the Williams Room, which is the room at the opposite end of the hall from the social hall. Our book group has chosen its next book, How the Word is Passed, by Clint Smith. The date for the discussion is December 2nd at 2, so start reading. This group is open to everyone. Before we begin, two things. First, we'll be using the turquoise hymnal this morning, so look around to make sure there's a copy in your pew. Also, if the folks watching from home would like to light a candle or chalice along with us here, please go and get one now so that we can do this ritual together in spirit. Thank you. something much more like last time where we waited for days to get results, and of course the results came in much faster than that. I can only speak for myself. I was surprised, very surprised, and frankly heartbroken. I wanted to add, for a lot of you who might not know me that well, I was a political science major, an international relations major in college, and my first master's degree is in urban policy. So it's very hard for me to see an election go in a direction that seems to reject the rule of law and what we think of as really basic ethics and a commitment to good government. So today we hold in our hearts people who might be really afraid of the future, who might be feeling unsafe, and we will be lifting that up in the days ahead. But that's all I'm going to say about it today, because today for us, the important thing really is to rest. It's been months and months of harsh language and stress and anxiety, and we need to rest. And we need to think about what really motivates us, which is love. You'll see on our cover of our order of service our Unitarian Universalist values and how we place love at the center of our values. And so today we're going to recalibrate, remember that, and be thinking about regaining our trust and our faith in the power of love and how we are held in love. And so you might be noticing that I'm actually wearing a heart sticker this morning, and I'm wearing it right here at my heart center to remind me that that's what our role is here this morning, that is why our community gathers. But I also thought, if you wish, that I would offer you a sticker as well. And so, if you wish, please come forward. I'll give you a sticker. You can wear it here at your heart center. You might want to wear your heart on your sleeve. If you want, you could exchange it with somebody before you put it on, whatever you wish to do with it. But if you're interested, if you would like, please come forward, and I'll give you the sticker. Don't leave your broken heart at the door. Bring it to the altar of life. Don't leave your anger behind. It has high standards, and the world needs vision. Bring them with you, and your joy and your passion. Bring your loving, your courage, and your conviction. Bring your need for healing and your power to heal. There is work to do, and you have all that you need to do it right here in this room. Come, let us worship together. Our opening hymn this morning is in the turquoise hymnal, number 1002 at the very beginning. Comfort me. And you're welcome to rise in body or in spirit. In the Unitarian Universalist faith tradition, we enter into worship by the simple ritual of kindling our chalice. The flame of our chalice this morning is a symbol of the warmth and brightness of our connections, and the double circles of our beautiful sculpture remind us to keep inviting others into an ever-widening circle. As Holly lights our chalice, if you have a candle or a chalice at home, please join and light it with us now. We take a moment now to affirm the covenant that we share with one another. Newcomers and guests, the words are printed in your order of service if you'd like to read along with us. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glorious
people who are feeling profoundly unsafe in this moment, our LGBTQ plus neighbors, immigrants, and anyone who feels marginalized. We light our candle to send our hopes and our prayers to them.
Our responsive reading this morning is number 490 in the Gray Hymn, Wild Geese, by the poet Mary Oliver. Please read the italicized portion. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on these You only have to lift the soft animal of your body. Let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Don't make us despair, yours, not ours, mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing with grace the family of things. I invite us now into a time of meditation, to be followed by silent meditation. And today I'm going to introduce to you the Buddhist practice of Tonglen meditation. Tonglen means taking and sending. When we practice Tonglen, we notice and take in the suffering of ourselves or others, and then we send out our compassion and our hopes for healing. We do this with our breath. We breathe in, we take in the suffering of others, and we breathe out compassion and love. I'll begin this by offering a spoken meditation by the Reverends Victoria Safford and J.J. Flagg, and then lead us in a few moments of Tonglen. And so to prepare, let's get comfortable in our seats and begin to notice your breathing. In and out, in and out. All is not lost. For just a moment, sometime today, let this November air mess with your hair, caress your crumpled, tear-streaked face, kiss your bare hands, as it has since you were small, as it will as you grow older. All is not lost. Close your eyes. Breathe deep. Drink deep the nourishing, life-giving air, and let it be spirit inside you. Breathe in life, and breathe out again life. Breathe more. This is your life, and our life together, you and I, and all the beloveds at risk now as never before, humans and trees, rivers and land, animals, children and birds. Breathe in love for them. Breathe in love for us all. Protection, resolve. And when you're able,
fury, bone weariness, grief, panic, disgust. Breathe out a whisper, a sliver, a shiver, a single frail molecule of hope to be carried like a milkweed, God only knows where. You know this and must not forget. Still and always we are held within, and we comprise a larger love. Take a breath, taste the wind, drink the rain, this feast that is prepared anew each day. Remember who you are and whose, the beloveds and beloved who know you by your name, who expect great things of you, which is to say that you will keep on keeping on, never alone, and with all your dignity still shining. Breathe deep and notice now who's hurting, who now is in danger, who needs your prayers of hope in order to survive. Hold out your brave and loving hands, stronger than you know, your brave and beating heart, and do not under any circumstances let go of beauty and truth. Do not let go of faith and hope and love. We are held within, and we comprise a holiness no tyrant can diminish or demean. So now let us pause in silence and notice our breathing in and out, in and out. Breathe in life and breathe out again life. Now take in, breathe in feelings, sadness, and heaviness for yourself and for others. Send out, breathe out feelings of lightness and hope for yourself and for others. Breathe in feelings of fear for all the most vulnerable, the marginalized among us, the animals, and the plants. Breathe out feelings of love. Breathe in feelings of anger and grief. Breathe out your tiny feelings of hope. And now, as we enter into a time of silent meditation, breathe deep and notice now who's hurting, who now is in danger, who needs your prayers of hope in order to survive. Hold out your brave and loving hands, stronger than you know, and do not, under any circumstances, let go of beauty and truth. Do not let go of faith and hope and love. Namaste. Blessed be, and Amen.
here in Gloucester and together with other Unitarian Universalist congregations throughout the country and the world. We will be called to join hands and work together in new ways. We must strengthen ourselves in order to be ready to respond to this moment. This morning's offering will now be generously given and gratefully received. Blessing upon the givers and on the gifts. This morning is titled Because by Trauma. So I can't save the world. I can't save even myself. Can't wrap my arms around every frightened child. Can't foster peace among nations. Can't bring love to all who feel unlovable. So I practice opening my heart right here in this room, and being gentle with my insufficiency. I practice walking down the street heart first. And if it is insufficient to share love, I will practice loving anyway. I want to converse about truth, about trust. I want to invite compassion into every interaction. One willing heart can't stop a war. One willing heart can't feed all the hungry. And sometimes, daunted by a task too big, I tell myself, what's the use of trying? But today the invitation is clear. To be ridiculously courageous in love. To open the heart like a lilac in May, knowing freeze is possible and opening anyway. To take love seriously, to give love wildly, to race up to the world as if I were a puppy, adoring and unjaded, stumbling on my own exuberance, to feel the shock of indifference, of anger, of cruelty, of fear, and stay open. To love as if it matters, as if the world depends on it.
time this week feeling struck speechless. I've experienced almost a sense of suspended animation, a certain stuckness, that I'm not feeling enough, doing enough, and especially not saying enough. And it's an odd condition to be in for someone whose call includes public speaking. So I had a good laugh yesterday when a colleague, the Reverend Heather Ryan Starr, posted on one of the UU ministers' Facebook pages. And she wrote, "Colleagues, I came upon the best sermon title for tomorrow. I've been really wrestling with what had been my sermon title, excuse me, too soon to tell, and then what it was by Wednesday, Be the Helpers, and now it's Saturday morning and I've got it. There just are no words." Only then, she went on to say, if there are no words, I have a problem. For of course we do need to find words, typically around 2,000 of them, to offer to our congregations. And several of the few words that do come to mind are not suitable for worship. But it came to me over the course of the past few days as I grappled with my own anger and sadness and inadequacy in the face of the results of the presidential election. Since beginning my ministry here with you in 2015, it has felt at times as though most of our Sundays together have been a response to one disaster or another. The horror of mass shootings, COVID, the 2016 election, wildfires, COVID, January 6th, 2021, hurricanes, COVID, Ukraine, Gaza, and now this week. And so I find that looking back, what I consider to be normal times, such as the Obama administration and before then, are beginning to feel like a distant memory. And so here we are again, my dear ones. Over these years, we have been called upon again and again to be resilient, to be creative, to respond again and again. And we have. Just think of all that's been asked of you in the last decade. So today is not a day to problem solve or to analyze anything or to engage in calls to action. Those days are coming. But today is a day to be together, to just hold on with one another, to seek nourishment for our souls, and to allow ourselves to feel whatever feelings need to be named and acknowledged. And actually, before we go any further, I'm going to pause right here and invite you all to speak. If you want, please call out an emotion that you are carrying with you here today. Feel free to say more than one. Feel free to yell. Ready? What are you feeling?
Fear.
Hope.
Sorrow. Frustration.
Disappointment. Abandonment.
Calm.
Trepidation.
Anger,
Resignation.
Exhaustion.
Sorrow.
Loss.
awe,
Grief.
love,
Hope.
It's a lot. On Friday, I met with some colleagues on Zoom, and we asked ourselves the question, is it inevitable that things have to fall apart from time to time? And then we wondered together, do things have to fall apart in order to be rebuilt? And I don't really have answers to those questions, but I am thinking about them, and I invite you to sit with those questions as well. Pema Chodron, the American Buddhist nun, grappled with these questions in her famous book, When Things Fall Apart. And as I always remember, she didn't title her book, If Things Fall Apart, but rather, When. For in truth, the cycle of growth and loss, of hope and despair, of health and illness, of life and death, is always being carried out around us. Within this cycle, we live our lives. And this is perhaps the spiritual work of our lifetimes, to acknowledge this truth and to accept it. Pema Chodron introduced the spiritual practice of Tonglen, which we explored a few minutes ago. She described it as receiving and sending, breathing in despair or anger, and breathing out hope and love. She uses this form of meditation as a way to awaken bodhicitta, which is the Sanskrit word for the noble or awakened heart. Tonglen wrote, Pema Chodron is the opposite of our usual instincts. We try to push away pain and to take in pleasure, don't we? But instead, in this practice, we take in the pain of ourselves and others and send back out breaths of pleasure and compassion and love. The simple act of being willing to allow our thoughts of pain and suffering into our hearts through our breath enables us to cope with our own fear and sorrow. It is so easy when overwhelmed with grief or fear to try to wall ourselves off, to protect ourselves, so that we don't have to feel this pain and discomfort. But what happens when we build walls around ourselves? We are no longer available to others. We can become more fearful and hardened, and we cannot receive what help and support and love that others might wish to offer us. So it's a paradox, really. The more that we try to protect ourselves, the more vulnerable we become. It's in opening our tender hearts that we can gain the support and the love from others that we need to survive. Pema Chodron wrote, it is said that in difficult times it is only bodhicitta, the noble heart, that heals. When inspiration has become hidden, when we feel ready to give up, this is the time when healing can be found in the tenderness of pain itself. This is the time to touch the genuine heart of bodhicitta. In the midst of loneliness, in the midst of fear, in the middle of feeling misunderstood and rejected, is the heartbeat of all things, the genuine heart of sadness. If we have become too walled off, too protected, we might wonder if our noble heart, our bodhicitta, has somehow withered away. But Pema Chodron likened our bodhicitta to a jewel. Imagine digging up a jewel that has been buried. It can emerge bright and colorful and unaffected by the long burial in the soil. It can be unmarred and shining still. These past few days, many of us, including me, have backed away from the aftermath of the election. It has been an exhausting several months, truly even several years, and it is time for us to rest. The vicious language we have been subjected to, the misogyny, the racism, the lack of decency and respect has taken its toll. It's abusive, it's traumatic, and it's incessant analysis, the request for money, and all the demands on our hearts and our heads and our wallets. We deserve to rest, to tend our spirits, to heal. And as we do, we wonder what we can trust in the days ahead. It's time to give ourselves permission to travel inward for as long as we need, to go deep within, to find the hidden jewel shining in the darkness that is our noble heart. Pema Chodron calls this the love that will not die. She commented that a common metaphor for a spiritual journey is often a climb up a mountain. But she reminded us that in climbing upward alone, we too often leave others behind. And it can be a form of escape. And so she urged us to remember that the spiritual journey is downward, down deep within, into our inmost selves, moving toward the emotions that we would prefer to leave behind and to wall off. The ancient Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "Life's water flows from darkness. Search the darkness, don't run from it." And so to begin on this journey, we trust ourselves to travel inward, to not fear darkness, to seek out our noble hearts and connect with that love deep within. Our religion talks a great deal about love. We think of God as a force of love, life-giving, always present. Our new values place love at the center of our tradition. Maybe that's where you chose to place your heart sticker at your heart center, as I did. And remember that our work is not to define this love or to ever figure out where it came from. Our work is to learn to sense its presence, to look for it both within ourselves, inside of our noble hearts, and all around us. I'm thinking of a song that I hope we'll learn to sing together one day. I think maybe the choir knows it. There's a love holding me. There's a love holding all that I love. There's a love holding all. I rest in that love. May you trust in the love holding us, and in the coming days, may you rest in that love. And when you are able, may you find ways to share it, to send it forth on your breath to those in the world who need it. But for today, may you love and know that you are loved. Blessed be. Amen. I invite us now to say together the unison prayer that is printed in your order of service. Eternal Spirit, earth maker, pain bearer, life giver, source of all that is and that shall be, Father and Mother of us all, loving God, in whom is heaven. The hallowing of your name echo through the universe. The way of your justice be followed by the peoples of the world. Your heavenly will be done in your great hymnal, Spirit of Life. How about we sing it through twice? Take seriously your grief. It is love stripped bare. Let it flow through you. Trust that you are held. Through every disaster, grace remains. Refuse to despair. Choose courage over selfishness, trust over fear, love over anger. You do not know the end of grace. There is much you cannot change, but bring healing where you can. We are not promised to be given light, but to shine with light. Don't become an enemy of the world and its brokenness. Stay tender. Become a source of comfort and joy for others. Let this purpose bear you through the darkness, and you yourself will become light. Take courage, trust grace, stay connected, practice love. Amen. And now I invite those of you watching from home to hold up your candle, and together we will blow them out as we say the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame